I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
Oh, go figure. Look at this. Oh, look at this. First thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well.
What the heck is that?
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and things continue to get worse for Rachel Zegler, the woke anointed loser, heading up what is sure to be a multi-$100 million box office disaster in Snow White, after starring in a $100+ million losing film, whatever that stupid musical she was in that lost a ton of money, a remake, and barely making any money in the Hunger Games remake that no one asked for. The Anointed One looks like things are troubling. The entire world has come together to set an auspicious, a humiliating new low for Snow White, as not only the trailer reaches legendary levels, 1.1 million dislikes, as it heads to be one of the most disliked film trailers of all time, outside of perhaps The Last Jedi. I feel like Disney owns a couple of these records for most disliked, but it's obvious what's happening with Rachel Zegler. Everyone hates her. She created massive division before this film ever came out, and now Disney is going to have to reap the whirlwind. Disney remake hits 1 million dislikes. Sometimes movie audiences feel that Hollywood should leave well enough alone. That seems to be the current sentiment among the millions of viewers who have streamed the trailer for Disney's live-action remake of Snow White, set for release in 2025. The dislikes on the studio's own YouTube channel have already exceeded 1 million, and there's no sign of slowing down. Look, I do want to point out, okay? I do want to point out that there is a lot of reasons for these dislikes, okay? Not just the fact that they should have left well enough alone, because that is true. There were a lot of people originally as a part of, TikTok pushback, Disney purists that didn't like the remake. The fact that now she's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. That was a bunch of dislikes. Then she got a bunch more kind of pre-built and baked in hate for saying Prince Charming was weird, and that she should get paid for every second she's wearing a Disney princess outfit while filming her movies. She is just one of the least likable Hollywood actresses. I would argue easily taking the crown from Brie Larson, even at her most disliked. I think most people are pretty at least indifferent to Brie Larson now. It's been 10 years probably since her I don't care what a 40-year-old white guy has to say about this movie line. Rachel Zegler spouts a new line every week. I mean, obviously you have Amandla Stenberg blaming fans and Disney too when her show failed. There's a common thread with these, strong independent women that don't need no man. And it's that people hate them and they take no responsibility for maybe that's why people hate them. And you look at this coming to theaters March 2025. Of course, as always, remember Free Palestine. That is also why the film is getting a lot of dislikes. Look, I'm an American. I don't care about Israel and I don't care about Palestine. I would love if they could end this and citizens could get on with their lives. I think that most people would. But Rachel Zegler's co-star is Israeli. Okay, Gal Gadot, who served in the IDF, who's an outspoken Israeli supporter, who is an Israeli citizen, now has to go on media tours with this idiot, right? You could see Free Palestine from what? Regressive and Terry governments that hate women. Disney has an interesting marketing strategy for Snow White. Its co-stars Israeli Gal Gadot, making sure Israel haters will boycott it. The Israel hater Rachel Zegler, making sure pro-Israelis will loathe to watch it. Is there some way to alienate neutral viewers too? Yeah, the neutral viewers were alienated when you called Prince Charming weird. To add insult to injury, the Snow White remake is showing a disproportionate number of fans that have given a thumbs up on the channel. A mere 80,000 users took time to hit the like button, a devastating ratio by comparison. Add in the 50,000 plus comments that are overwhelmingly negative. you might have an accurate forecast for a rare big box office disaster from Disney Studios. What do you mean rare? The Marvels lost $200 million. What are you talking about? Wish lost $100 million. I think it's more often than not that Disney films lose massive amounts of money these days. Now, yes, Deadpool and Wolverine will set records and will make a ton of money. That Emotions movie, whatever that is, Inside Out, that did very, very good too. It's not like they're incapable of putting out good movies. You know what's curious though? Neither one of those movies were overtly political. I didn't see any advertising about Deadpool and Wolverine featuring a strong independent woman who don't need no man. I didn't see any advertising about Inside Out featuring trans rights. I didn't see any of that stuff. Now, if it existed and I missed it, okay. I didn't see any of it. The Snow White remake has spent the production budget that exceeded $200 million. I've heard it's close to $350. So it's going to be quite an interesting uphill climb for Animation Giant to break even with ticket sales. But the casting might give Walt Disney Pictures the boost it needs to get audience. What are you talking about? Everyone hates Rachel Zegler. Okay, Gal Gadot's great, but why would I give Disney money? They hate me. Even the world real. Trailer for Disney's Disney's Snow White hits 1 million dislikes on YouTube. Here's Deserto. Rachel Zegler's Snow White live action trailer has 1,200% more dislikes than likes. It's been a year since Rachel Zegler drama, but the backlash is still working overtime as the dislikes on her teaser trailer for her live action Snow White outweighs it by a whopping 1,200%. In case you're taking a social media break, last year, Zegler became the target of undue hate, for a clip of a 2022 interview that went viral, showing that the star was describing some of the narrative points will change in Disney's live-action Snow White remake, saying it was no longer 1937, and evidently so. It was weird. What followed was a torrent of backlash from old dramas being dragged up, out of context, clips circulating, and threats to boycott her movies. Zegler and her co-stars, as well as many fans, have since hit back at the trolls. Over 1.1 million trolls. That's a lot of trolls. I would argue that, Deserto is a garbage outlet full of garbage leftoid articles. And here's how you can prove it. Where's any mention of her politically divisive Free Palestine statement that really kicked it all off? Where's any mention of her ridiculously entitled take that, if I'm going to be dressed as an iconic Disney princess, I need to get paid for every single minute that it was streamed. Where's that? Oh, you didn't mention any of that, Deserto? You didn't mention any of that and why people didn't like the movie? Leaked scene makes Rachel Zegler's Snow White even more insufferable. Almost missed this, but John Nolte had some more eyebrow-raising details what's changed the live-action Snow White. My primary takeaway of the trailer is no amount of suspension of belief will ever set the idea that Gal Gadot's evil queen is beside herself with jealousy over Snow White's unibrowed white beauty. Then there's a leaked scene via that Star Wars girl, and it's even worse. So the dwarves take in Snow White, and the smug girl boss shows her appreciation by making them clean up. Isn't Snow White supposed to be sympathetic? One tweeter put it perfectly. Wow, this version of Snow White is an entitled brat. Well, yeah. I mean, Rachel Zegler is an entitled brat. She's earned nothing. Entitled brat. Fans disappointed as new Snow White misses the mark on her classic role. I mean, what did you expect? Another fan spoken about how Snow White isn't paying rent, so perhaps she can help clean up the house. Wow, she can't even clean up. Is she paying rent at least? Wait, they've been mining all day and come home to her directing them to do housework too? Questioned another fan. In the original Snow White, she cleans for the dwarves to show her appreciation. In the new one, she breaks into their house and forces them to clean for her, shared a fan. I mean, yeah, that's what this is. Now, of course, it's been taken down. Full extract of Whistle Wise You Work. I can't show that. But no possible mention in this entire article about, obviously, the stupid CGI dwarves that they had to redo. The fact that the character's an insufferable girl boss. What did they expect? On the other side, fans were shocked to see the seven dwarves themselves weren't even real. Where are the real dwarves? Questioned a fan. Dwarf CGI is really horrible, pointed out another fan. However, many fans were being negative about the scene. There were others who had something positive to share. Really? I don't think so. I mean, and again, they even call it Disney Snow White is a live-action musical reimagining of the... Whoops, got to turn that up. A reimagining of the classic 1937 film. Nobody needed this to be reimagined. None. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. How Disney Snow White remake turned sour. Again, nobody's actually reporting that Rachel Zegler is just an insufferable brat. People don't like her. People don't think she respected the source material. People didn't like that she had a melty about calling Prince Charming a stalker and called him weird. And now in the remake, she's breaking into the dwarves' houses and making them clean up for her after working in the coal mines all day. No mentions of how her hashtag Free Palestine, which she's of course allowed to say, is going to negatively affect the movie. Disney themselves already pushed back this movie not once but twice, I believe. If my math is correct, they pushed it back at least twice. So Disney themselves are not confident in this movie. They're going to try and delay it so everyone forgets what an insufferable brat Rachel Zegler is. Not going to work. Not going to help. You know, see, and wait till they go on press tour. Wait till these two women have to go share the stage together and answer questions about Free Palestine. You know? Wait for that. Because again, look at 40,000 likes on her tweet about the movie, 70,000 likes about hashtag Free Palestine. That's all you need to know. That's what she actually cared about. Rachel Zegler is trolling her much more famous and more beautiful Snow White co-star Gal Gadot. Disney continues to hire the wrong actors. Snow White, the evil queen who is jealous of her looks. Yeah, I mean, this is not a great picture of Rachel Zegler, but that's neither here nor there. You're such a team player. Way to support your castmate. Maybe just stay out of it. And again, it's gone now from 449,000 dislikes to 1.1 million, and it couldn't have happened to a bigger twat. Now, unfortunately, I have no issue with Gal Gadot, but she's going to have to go down with the ship on this one. I highly doubt she's ever working with this brat again. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.